Hello everyone, welcome back to Story Time. Today I'm going to share with you a story within a story. Raju was a young boy who loved going to school. He was very popular with the children and with the teachers because he was kind, helpful and very generous. He was also good in studies. One day, two new boys joined his class. One was called Kishore and the other was Anand. These boys were bigger than all the other children in the class. So soon they started bullying all the other children. But they bullied Raju the most because he was the smallest and he was too gentle to fight back. They had even warned him, "Don't you dare complain to your mother or to Miss Seema. We'll trouble you even more." So Raju was too scared. He didn't know what to do. But as the days went by, he became sadder and sadder. His mother noticed this and she said, "Raju, is something troubling you?" No, ma, replied Raju. One day, his mother was very worried. So she went to see his class teacher, Miss Seema. "Miss Seema, I am very worried about Raju. He doesn't eat properly. He doesn't sleep properly. I don't know what's bothering him." Yes, Mrs. Rao. I've noticed this in class too. He's not paying attention and yesterday in his math test he did very badly. He's so good at the subject. But don't worry, I'll take care of this. So from that day on, she started keeping a very careful eye on all the children. She soon noticed that these two boys were troubling all the children and especially Raju. That afternoon, when she was standing outside the class, all the children were sitting in the playground under the trees having their lunch. Raju was sitting by himself. He had just opened his lunch box when Kishore and Anand came and sat on either side of him. Kishore grabbed the lunch box and started to eat. "Hey, it's my lunch. Give it back," said Raju. "Ha," said Kishore. He ate a little bit more and then gave it to Anand. Anand also ate some and they kept passing it to one another. And after all the food was finished, they gave the box back to Raju. Poor Raju, he had started crying by then. Both the boys laughed at him. "Don't cry like a crybaby." And they went away. Soon the bell rang. Raju quickly wiped all his tears and went back into class. When Miss Seema entered the class, she said, "Children, now I am not going to take class. I am going to tell you a story instead." Yes! All the children were very happy. They loved stories. Who doesn't love stories, right? All of us love to listen to stories. After all the children had settled down, Miss Seema started. Long ago, there was a very big forest. In that forest, there were many wild animals. There were lions, there were tigers, there were elephants, snakes, birds, and many more. Among the elephants, the biggest and the strongest was an elephant called Gaja. Now Gaja felt very powerful and he became very proud. He loved to scare all the animals in the forest. Sometimes what he would do was, he would creep up behind some animal, he would do, and scare them so badly. Sometimes he would go down to the river, take lots of water in his trunk and splash it on the animals. The poor animals, what could they do? He was so big and strong. One day he saw a long line of ants. All of them were carrying their food on their heads. He thought to himself, "I can scare them." So he went down to the river, took lots of water in his trunk and splashed it on the ants. The ants ran all over the place. Then they came and begged Gaja, "Gaja, please Gaja, leave us alone, please." But Gaja didn't listen. He continued troubling all the animals. One day when one of the ants was going by, he saw Gaja was fast asleep on the ground. He thought, "Now's the time for me to teach him a lesson." So he started climbing up Gaja's foot, then up to his leg, then soon he was inside his trunk and he started to bite. Gaja felt the pain. He woke up. He shook his head, shook his trunk. But no, the ant wouldn't come out and continued to bite him. Then he stopped and said, "Doesn't it hurt?" "Yes, yes. Please come out." Now you understand how it feels for us when you bully us? Do you promise not to trouble us anymore? "Yes, yes, I promise." So the ant came out, and from that day on, the elephant stopped troubling the other animals. "And that's where the story ends, children," said Miss Seema. All the children clapped their hands again. "Did you learn any lesson from this story, children?" Yes, ma'am, said Ramesh. "What is it, Ramesh?" "Ma'am, the elephant was so big. Shouldn't he have helped all the other animals? Why was he bullying them?" "That's right, Ramesh." Ma'am, said Rita. "Yes, Rita. Ma'am, the ant was so small, but he managed to teach an elephant a lesson, isn't it, ma'am?" "Yes, Rita, you're absolutely right," said Miss Seema. Tung, 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 the bell rang. "Okay, children, you can go home." So soon the children started going out. "Kishore, Anand, Raju, please stay back." So the three of them stayed back. Then she told them to sit down. Then she said, "Kishore, Anand, have you all been troubling Raju?" "No, ma'am." "Don't say that. I've been watching for the last few days. You've been troubling all the children and especially Raju. Why do you do that? Is it because you all are bigger? Is that the right thing to do?" "No, ma'am." "And today you took away Raju's lunch. Don't you think he's very hungry now?" "Yes, ma'am." "Will you promise from now on that you will stop troubling the children?" Raju could easily have complained to the principal and you would have got punished. But would you have liked that? Punishing you wouldn't have helped. So I thought telling you a story will help you understand. You understand now? "Yes, ma'am." "Why don't the three of you shake hands and be friends from now on? Promise?" "Yes, ma'am." So the three of them shook hands, and from that day on, they stopped troubling any of the children. And that's where the story ends. The story of the elephant and the ant is from the Panchatantra. Panchatantra is a Sanskrit word. Pancha means 5 and Tantra means books. So there are 5 books based on 5 principles. One is Mitra Bheda, losing friends. One is Mitra Labha, making friends. The third one is Subra Bheda, which means discord among friends. The fourth one is Vigraha, separation. And the last one is Sandhi, which means coming back together or union. There are lots and lots of stories in each of these books, and they teach us very, very important life lessons. So these stories are enjoyed by both children and by adults. I believe in stories because I believe that stories help us understand one another and helps us become better people. That is why I feel stories can help people change themselves. Punishment doesn't work because when you punish someone, they may even become worse. So that's why I think stories are very important. Don't you agree with me? I'm sure you do. Until next time, bye. Hello, welcome back to Story Time. Are you ready for a story today? There are so many festivals in India, aren't they? One among these festivals is Durga Puja. Why is Durga Puja celebrated year after year after year? Now I'll tell you the reason why. Long, long ago, thousands of years ago, there lived a very evil Asura called Mahishasura. He was very powerful and was the king of the Asuras. He ruled over the kingdom of Patala. Where is Patala? Well, according to Hindu mythologies, there are 14 lokas. 7 above the ground and 7 below the ground. And one of the 7 lokas below the ground was Patala. And Mahishasura ruled over Patala. Above the ground, 2 of the lokas were Bhuloka, where people lived, and Devaloka, where the Devas lived. Lord Indra was the king of the Devas. Mahishasura was powerful, but he wanted more power. Why do you think that was? Because he wanted to take over Devaloka. He had tried many times, but every time Lord Indra had defeated him. He knew he needed more power, and the only way to get that power was to pray to Lord Brahma. So he went on a severe penance for thousands of years. Lord Brahma was happy with his devotion and appeared in front of him. What do you want, Mahishasura? He asked. Oh Lord, grant me the boon of immortality, he said. Mahishasura, that's not possible. The principle of life is that whoever is born has to die. Oh, then let no deva or man be able to kill me, said Mahishasura. None of the Holy Trinity should also be able to kill me. If I have to die, let it be at the hands of a woman. Tatastu, said Lord Brahma. So be it. And he disappeared. Mahishasura was very happy. It was as though Lord Brahma had granted him the boon of immortality. How could a mere woman kill him? He laughed loudly and then went down to Patala, collected a huge army of asuras and went to Devaloka. When Lord Indra saw him, he said, Why have you come again, Mahishasura? Haven't I defeated you enough times? Not this time, Indra, not this time, said Mahishasura. There was a fierce battle, but Mahishasura defeated Lord Indra and the Devas ran away in fear. Mahishasura sat on Lord Indra's throne and said, I am God now. Go down to Bhuloka, he ordered his asuras. Kill all those who are still worshipping Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. Then started the reign of terror. The asuras went down, started killing people, looting people. There was total chaos. People were in pain and despair and they prayed to the Devas for help. In the meantime, the Devas ran to the Holy Trinity, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. The 3 gods got together, combined their energies, and there was a powerful light that lit up the heavens. Out of this light emerged Ma Durga. She was born to kill the evil Asura, Mahishasura. She had a fierce face and 10 arms. She was the very embodiment of Adi Shakti, the most powerful force in the universe. All the Devas came together and one by one they presented a powerful weapon. Lord Shiva gave her the trident. Lord Vishnu gave her the Sudarshan Chakra. Lord Brahma gave her the Kamandalam of holy water filled with wisdom. Lord Indra gave her the Vajra or the thunderbolt. Lord Vayu gave her a quiver full of arrows. Lord Varuna gave her a conch. Lord Kal or time gave her a sword. One by one they gave her weapons. And now Ma Durga was ready. Lord Himalaya gave her a fierce lion to ride on. That would be her Vahana or the vehicle. Ma Durga let out a loud roar. When Mahishasura heard the roar, for a minute he was scared. Then he thought, she may be a goddess, but she's still a woman. And she won't be able to kill me. Then the fierce battle started. It went on for 10 days. The first few days, Mahishasura managed to fool Ma Durga by assuming the forms of different animals. But on the 10th day, when he assumed his own form, Ma Durga, with a powerful thrust of her trident, killed him. And thus ended the reign of terror. It was the victory of good over evil. There was joy and happiness everywhere in Bhuloka as well as in Devaloka. Lord Indra ascended his throne once again and became the god of the Devas. So that was the end of Mahishasura's life. That is why Durga Puja is celebrated year after year after year, say between the end of September to the beginning of October. This is in celebration of Ma Durga's killing of Mahishasura. Sometimes we think of the constant battle between Devas and Asuras, but there is a constant battle being fought within us. There are two paths in life. One is the path of good and the other path is the path of evil. How do we know to choose the right path? There is an inner consciousness or a conscience that warns us every time we do something wrong. If we were to follow that voice and follow what is good, then definitely we'll be happy. But if we were to make mistakes and go down the path of evil, we can definitely not be happy. But when we make mistakes, we can still correct them and continue to follow the path of good. Isn't that an interesting story? I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.